Good afternoon. My name is Angel Ford, and this is my sex trafficking persuasive speech. The specific purpose and the thesis of this speech is to persuade my audience to take a stand against sex trafficking and make the government fully aware of the issue. The thesis is speaking out and taking a stand against sex trafficking can help to persuade victims to speak out and encourage others to help to assist decreasing the rates of sex trafficking. Introduction. Did you know 3 states with the highest sex trafficking rates are California with 1,656, Michigan with 383, and Georgia falling shortly behind with 375. What makes me credible to speak on this topic is that I have impeccable sources and I have a great deal of resources. Today I will use Monroe's motivated sequence to persuade you to assist in this sex trafficking, and then I would like to persuade you to help prevent sex trafficking. Finally, I would like to persuade you to take a stand against sex trafficking. Need stage and body paragraph. The problem that needs to be fixed is that the statistics of sex trafficking are continually increasing. As of 2020, the top 10 states with sex trafficking are as follows: California, Michigan, Georgia, Nevada, Illinois, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Arizona, Washington, and New Jersey. Sadly, the leading factors of sex trafficking is a person being in poverty. According to the National Human Trafficking Hotline website, these rates have increased. In 2020, California had 1,656, Michigan had 383, Georgia had 375, Nevada has 313, Illinois has 296, North Carolina has 287, Pennsylvania 275, Arizona 231. As of 2017, California was at 1,366, Michigan 313, Georgia at 284, North Carolina at 228, Nevada at 213, Pennsylvania at 210, Illinois at 203, Arizona at 185, Washington at 167, and New Jersey at 167. Wow. Satisfaction stage. According to the Borgia Project, some ways to prevent sex trafficking is to hold fundraisers to fund nonprofit organizations, stay aware of the statistics of sex trafficking, and advocate for others, among other things. Sex trafficking victims need a lot of assistance once they are no longer victims. Providing these victims with a trafficking survivors kit, also known as a STSK kit, would go a long way in helping these victims. These kits provide a month's supply of food, medicine, bedding, clothing, and hygiene items, according to Rebecca Lincoln. These methods of preventing sex trafficking are effective because supporting non-profit organizations advocating and reporting these issues to the government all involve the community. Persuade the audience to take a stand against sex trafficking and to make the issue aware to the government is a part of taking action against sex trafficking. Now that you know some ways to take action against sex trafficking, let's get on to the next stage. Picture all the victims of sex trafficking: the little boys, the little girls, the men, the women. Would you sit back and do nothing if you or a loved one was a victim of sex trafficking? Would you be okay with people not doing anything to help you? The case of Carla Jacinto. Carla Jacinto lived in poverty in her home of New Mexico City. and was lured to slavery by a man who approached her and used her state of living to lure her into sex trafficking. According to her, she was raped an estimate of 43,200 times by 30 men a day for 7 days a week. She had told her story to Congress in hopes of getting new laws passed against sex trafficking. Testimonies like Carla's have touched the hearts of many. Speaking out could possibly encourage others to speak out, and this would lead to a positive change in the government's reaction. Action stage. There are several ways to take action against sex trafficking. There are several agencies in place for victims of sex trafficking. Outreach workers are being careful and creative in assessing sex trafficking victims and getting them to safety. The hotline that I mentioned earlier in the speech it takes calls ranging from anyone who wants to learn about sex trafficking to potential victims. In conclusion, the purpose of this speech is to keep you informed and updated on the pressing issues of sex trafficking. During this speech, you were informed on the alarming statistics of sex trafficking in 10 different states. You were shown these statistics. You were shown how these statistics have risen over the years. You have also been informed on several ways to prevent and help assist victims of sex trafficking. It is no secret that the government is doing little to nothing to end sex trafficking. That is why we as a society have to develop ways to help victims and continue to develop new ways to take a stand against sex trafficking. Thank you.